There's been a lot of hypothetical questions on here. I'm not always, a huge fan of guessing those things. But obviously, I've said that before. I think that if I retire on the team's, timeline, then all is well. But if they're looking to move on before I'm ready to be done playing, then there comes an impasse at that point. I can control, my play and my performance and my approach and my leadership. But at some point, there's other factors involved. That's what I said to you guys, on day one when we talked about this, and that's what I said to Kyle. So that's the facts to me at this point.
Aaron Rodgers discussing his status here in Green Bay just a day after Coach Matt LaFleur said that he expects Aaron Rodgers to be the quarterback well into the future. Well, they've drafted his replacement, Jordan Love, trading up to get him in round one. So we spent a lot of time yesterday trying to make sense of that which cannot be made sense of, Chris. Now, Aaron Rodgers, a more pragmatic response, and you can tell he's kind of said everything that he's going to say about it.
Right.
The facts are the facts. The answer is right there. We know the clock is ticking. And really, at this point, the only way that it's not going to transition from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love at some point in the next 4 years is if Aaron Rodgers goes out there and plays at an MVP level each and every year and is in the conversation for MVP each and every year. And even then, you feel like Mark Murphy, the CEO of the team, at some point is going to say, let's sell high before the drop happens, and let's get high value for Aaron Rodgers and hand the ball to Jordan Love.
Yeah, the clock's ticking. But, I mean, I think those are the scenarios where you go, okay, Aaron Rodgers lasts in Green Bay more than 2 years, I think are, kind of what you said. Rodgers has to be playing at such a level that you just go, damn, we're stupid. We can't trade this guy or get rid of this guy. There's no way. He's still the best player on our team. So that'll be one way. Or, of course, just even if his play does slip a little bit and the team just continues to be really successful, maybe another Super Bowl appearance or a Super Bowl win or, maybe another Final Four. Does some of that stuff extend, the lifeline of this marriage here between the Packers and Rodgers? But, as it stands right now, I think that's what it takes. That's what it's going to take, because if we get into year 3 and 4, as we've mentioned many times, right, Mike? I mean, then you're going to start to well, why did you draft this guy in the first round? Why did you trade up for him? What the hell did we waste this pick to sit here for 4 years? And, ultimately, I think that'll drive, the brass and the organization crazy, and they're going to want to play their guys. So those are the only scenarios I see. I don't know if you think I'm wrong or right or what.
The difference between the Patriots and Jimmy Garoppolo and the Packers and Jordan Love is that Jimmy Garoppolo had a 4-year contract because he wasn't a first rounder. So It all came to a head in that 4th year. That was when we got to do something because he's going to walk away as a free agent after this season. So if we're ever going to trade him and get real value other than a compensatory draft pick, we got to do it now. With Aaron Rodgers, I think that after 2021, when he's got 2 years left on his contract and Jordan Love's got 3 years left, technically, assuming they pick up the option, and why wouldn't they if they haven't seen him play yet? But that's when it begins to get awkward to the point that you can't make the narrative go away, because I think that if they go into 2022, the question that hovers all year long over the Packers is whether or not this is Aaron Rodgers' last year, because surely they're not gonna continue into the 4th year of a first-round quarterback's career to keep him on the bench. Because how long was Aaron Rodgers on the bench? 3 years.
Right.
Year 4 is the action year, which makes year 3 the point to do it the cleanest way, the easiest way, so you don't have a season marred by this never-ending question of whether or not this is Aaron Rodgers' last year in Green Bay. You want his last year to already be over without it being a major obsession, although I still think next year it's going to be a talking point all year long because we're looking at it saying it probably will be his next year. This shadow is going to hover over the franchise.
Agree. This is not going anywhere.
Transition.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
And they self-inflicted the wound on themselves.
No doubt.
Chris.
No. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I don't see any way out of this conversation. Yeah, I mean, this year it'll be, talked about, but nobody's going to take it seriously, right? I mean, I don't think anybody's looking at it like, oh, Jordan Love could start for the Packers or anything like that. But you get into the next offseason, And, then they start to talk about, what they saw from Jordan Love in this past 2020 season, running the scout team and the things that, these questions, it's going to start. So really, this is the year of, okay, it's Aaron Rodgers all the way, but I think this is it, to where next year it's going to be a conversation. And like you're saying, it's going to be a black cloud, a shadow over the organization that people are just going to continue to talk about, ask about. And it's going to frustrate Rodgers, I'm sure, to a degree. And like he said, all he can do is go out and play really, really well, and we'll see where that goes. But, financially, as we've talked about before too, it makes sense after 2 years. They can get out of Aaron Rodgers and really cause themselves no harm after the 2021 season. And, as it looks right now, I think bearing an MVP or them going to the Super Bowl, I don't, the more I sit here and think about it, I don't think he'll be there then.
One thing that makes it easier for the Packers for now is the absence of preseason games.
It does.
We don't get to see Jordan Love. We're not going to see him play at all this year, potentially, unless Aaron Rodgers gets injured, which has happened a few times during his career. But, we got that glimpse of Patrick Mahomes in 2017, that Titans game, one of my favorite throws from him, rolling right, running full speed, getting hit in the mouth as he fires the ball down the field. I mean, for me, that was the moment the light bulb went on.
Yeah.
And we're not going to have a light bulb moment with Jordan Love. We're not going to know. Maybe next preseason if there is one, but I think that helps keep it from being a thing,
right,
at least until next year. If Love plays in the preseason next year, if there is a preseason, that's when maybe it begins to become more of a distraction. But they bought the distraction.
Yeah.
They bought a distraction that will last until Aaron Rodgers is no longer with the Packers or Jordan Love is no longer with the Packers.
No, yeah, it's exactly right. And I mean, I think you're spot on with the conversation this year. I mean, next year, I think we both could sit here and realistically see, okay, preseason game 2, preseason game 3. Whoa, Jordan Love made some good throws, made some good plays. Oh, is this the last year for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay? I mean, that's just going to start as soon as he puts together a little highlight reel just of a few plays in the preseason. All that conversation is going to, continue or fester or whatever else. And, yeah, they're not getting out of this one anytime soon. And, I feel bad for a guy like Aaron Rodgers that has to deal with this, a guy that's carried the franchise on his back for this long. And here he is, towards the end of his career where he's still playing at a high level and really has a box to stand on to go, I'm not playing at a level we should be thinking about replacing me yet. I feel bad for him from that standpoint, just as a competitor.
And there's a fine line, Chris, between providing him external motivation to get him to finish strong in Green Bay and providing him with a constant source of torment where he's always thinking and always wondering. And yes, that's very useful if he's going to go out and work hard and put aside the scotch and the tequila and focus on the Tom Brady overall lifestyle plan to get the most out of his body as he gets closer to age 40 and do all the things he has to do to stave off this competition. But when he's not acting and motivated and doing everything he has to do to continue to hold that job, he is carrying around that torment, that unnecessary, what did I do to deserve this? This is the thanks I get for all the years that I have shown up, busted my ass, made a team competitive that shouldn't have been competitive.
Right.
Every year I'm turning chicken crap into chicken salad because I don't have the help around me. And the thanks I get is you draft my replacement, you trade up to reach for a project of a guy who is not, again, just like Brett Favre said after he spoke to Aaron Rodgers, this isn't a great quarterback who fell into their laps. This isn't Tua that just happens to be there when they're on the clock. They made the move for this guy. This is a middle finger to Aaron Rodgers. I mean, at times, he's got to think that because that's how it should be interpreted. And that's where it's unfair to Aaron Rodgers. Everything he's done for that team, he's going to be carrying this baggage around every day until it will probably be a relief for him when he gets a chance to go play somewhere else.
Yeah, you're right. It could be. It could come to that point at some at some point in time where he just goes, man, I'm sick of having this over my shoulder and you guys using this against me and even having to answer these questions. And, hey, Mike, I think the big thing is this, too. We'll see. Jordan Love, I was a fan of him in the draft. I mean, there's things I like, but he's about as raw as a first-round pick as I have seen as far as a quarterback goes in a long, long time. Hey, I know there was a handful of teams, like myself, who saw some stuff and you went, ooh, damn, I see some plays like Aaron Rodgers. But I know there was a bunch of other teams, too, that were, like, scared to death of Jordan Love and thought he was so raw and not mentally and physically and everything he had, not learned, in college, that they were scared to death of the prospects of, I don't know if this guy can play for us anytime soon or where he's at or anything like that. So that's where it's going to be interesting, too. I think this is a very big-time boom or bust type prospect in Jordan Love. And, ultimately you're going to see some of the brass there in Green Bay held accountable for what his success rate is.
One way we would see Jordan Love this year is if Aaron Rodgers gets injured. The other way we would see Jordan Love this year is if Aaron Rodgers tests positive for COVID-19. Here's a question that Rodgers was asked yesterday about teams taking extra precautions to protect their quarterbacks from the coronavirus.
With how important quarterbacks are in this league, are you taking, or is the team imposing any extra precautions with you and the other quarterbacks for limiting contact with teammates or with limiting contact with people even away from the building?
Yeah, not yet. I'm not sure what what the conversations will be in the near future, but as of right now, no.
Yeah, not yet. And you wonder when that's going to happen. And that's one of the other concerns. And look, you don't want to treat the quarterbacks dramatically differently than the rest of the team, but the quarterbacks get treated dramatically differently all the time. They're protected differently during games. They are the most important guy on the field. And you do have to wonder whether there will be extra precautions to have like a mini bubble around Aaron Rodgers and other starting quarterbacks with other teams. Because if you have a great quarterback and he's gone, Chris, for 2 weeks, that may be the difference between playoffs or no playoffs, 1 seed or 3 seed, division title or wild card.
No, you're exactly right. And, I mean, this is a situation where if I'm Green Bay, I'm thinking about this long and hard. They got nothing behind Aaron Rodgers. No proven commodity at all. We just talked about Jordan Love is raw as hell. I mean, he's raw as hell. Anybody I talked to, even the ones that liked him, they told you he was raw. And you could see that on film. I mean, there's decisions that are all over the place. There's throws that are all over the place. And like I said, the good, you go, holy crap, is that good? But I don't think that's going to lead to consistency in the NFL yet. And then Tim Boyle, their backup, I mean, come on, he's an unproven commodity too. So, I mean, if there is one team that needs to be careful with their starting quarterback and where that goes and their team's success is predicated on that starting quarterback, man, Green Bay, I mean, seriously, I know you love Seinfeld. They need to start treating Aaron Rodgers like Bubble Boy. I mean, seriously. I mean, they need to put a big plastic ball around him and let him just roll around the facility and make sure he doesn't get sick. Because if he does, yeah, you're right. He misses 2 games, something like that, they could be in big, big trouble.
And I could see at some level Aaron Rodgers, if he is put in self-isolation with COVID-19, just kind of sitting back, grabbing his scotch and or his sipping tequila and saying, hey, you wanted him. Let's go see what he can do now.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.